Hello, welcome to Spotlight on Wawarsing. I'm your host, If, and today's show features Sean Wells, Energy Resource Educator with Cornell Cooperative Extension of Sullivan County. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me, man.
So, as for the Cornell Cooperative Extension, what do you do?
Well, I am a community energy advisor with Cornell Cooperative Extension, and I work in a program called SEEP, which is the Community Energy Engagement Program.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I do a lot of energy awareness and educational campaigns based around information and programs that are dealt through the state of New York and a department called NYSERDA, the New York State Energy and Research Development Authority.
Well, what areas do you serve in?
I work throughout the Mid-Hudson Valley. The SEEP program works through Cornell Cooperative Extension, and we have two Cornell Cooperative Extensions involved with this program. Dutchess County Extension, which is over near Poughkeepsie, Millbrook area, and then Sullivan County Cornell Cooperative Extension, which is up by Liberty. Okay. And we serve all 7 counties in the Mid-Hudson Valley. So there's 4 of us that work within the program, and we utilize our partnerships with other cooperative extensions. So there's a cooperative extension in each one of those 7 counties in the Mid-Hudson Valley, and we utilize those partners and work in each county. So there's a lot of places to go and visit.
Well, what is the connection between a healthy home and an energy efficient home?
Well, there's many. An energy efficient home is a well-sealed home with a lot of eyes on the envelope, so the outside of the building and how it's functioning with other systems of the home. So your electrical systems, your heating systems, your ventilation systems, even things like your plumbing, all that stuff matters. But a well-heated home is going to and it's going to retain its heat, so it's going to have a good envelope. There's going to be safe, ventilated areas, so you're going to have, you're going to have clean indoor air. Really, you're going to have a healthy indoor air environment. You're going to have not a lot of mold in the air, not a lot of bacteria, not a lot of places where like pests, rodents, mice, bugs, pests can come into the house. And you're gonna have less infiltrations with air too, and that's the big thing when you're talking about energy efficiency. We want to keep it's the winter. You want to keep that warm air that you're paying to heat in the spaces where you live, and the same thing goes for in the summer when you're cooling the indoor spaces with air conditioning. You want to make sure it stays within the envelope. So that's a healthy home is well ventilated and has a lot of different kind of eyes on all sorts of indicators that kind of have to do with our personal health.
Are there any programs or resources available to help New York State homeowners and renters?
Yeah, I brought a list here. There are quite a number of programs available for New York State homeowners. We have, I'll talk about, they're income eligible programs, so I'll talk about, and then there's programs that we call market rate, that if, it doesn't matter how much you make, you can engage with those programs regardless of income. But the first one I always like to talk about is Empower New York. This program does have an income criteria with it, so if you receive like food stamps or WIC benefits or HEAP, the Home Heating Assistance Program, you'd be automatically eligible for this program. In Ulster County, a family of 4 could make $57,564 or less and be eligible for this program. And what that entitles them to, all they have to do is fill out an application. And it would entitle them to air sealing, some insulation looks, some different stuff with electric reduction measures, so swapping out like inefficient light bulbs. And our contractors even look at like the efficiency of big energy using appliances like refrigerators and freezers. If there's if they're really old, they might even swap those out. It starts with a home energy assessment, so a home energy audit. A visual inspection of how things are working in the house, and then we utilize a dual application with Empower New York. So that means we fill out one application and we can use it for 2 separate programs. So we partner with weatherization. So weatherization can, if there's a lot to do in a specific home, we can get folks the Empower New York program, and then we can link them up with the weatherization program too, which locally our Ulster County Community Action Group does that work here. in Ulster County. So if folks are eligible for Empower New York, they're also going to be eligible for Solar for All, which is another program that works along the lines of electric reduction, and it's built on the back of community solar farms or community solar projects. So we have those projects going on all over the you see a big solar farm, a solar array that's built, and we have panels that are already kind of set up to work for this program. So people who are income eligible, so if they're SNAP or HEAP eligible, like I mentioned earlier, or they make $57,564 or less for a family of 4 in Ulster County, then they would be automatically eligible for this program. We could, all they have to do is apply, and it basically no upfront costs or fees. There's no solar panel going on anybody's houses. They're just taking advantage of those pre-purchased panels that are off on a solar farm somewhere. And they can go right into the program, and what it does is it saves them about $5 to $15 monthly on their electric bill. So it's a nice, chunk of change when you look at, comprehensively over like 12 months. You do the math, it can add up nicely. We also have a program called Assisted Home Performance with Energy Star. This program is basically, it deals with the home energy assessment or audit, which I mentioned earlier with the Empower program. But basically looks at what's going on with the envelope and what's going on with the insulation, and can we add insulation? Can we do some more electric reduction stuff? And basically, if you make $76,752 or less for a family of 4 in Ulster County, you'd be eligible for that program, and you could slide right into it. All you got to do is fill out the application, and then you get the audit, and then the audit comes back. We help you kind of decipher that, and basically you'd be recommended a list of upgrades on that audit. And from that list, you can the people who are doing the upgrades can work with you to get almost 50% of those upgrades, or up to $4,000, whatever the cap is hit first. Worth of upgrades in the home to make it more energy efficient, more insulated, whatever we need to do. So it's a nice program for those in the moderate income range. And then the last thing I want to mention, as far as programs for like market rates of folks who don't qualify income-wise for the other programs I mentioned, there's a program called the Residential Energy Audit Program. So basically, most New Yorkers right now are going to qualify for a free home energy assessment. And that's what I mentioned earlier, when these contractors come in and just do an assessment of what's going on in the home, and look for ways to make it more energy efficient.
So as of the SEEP program, where can I go for more information?
You can call us at Cornell Cooperative Extension in Sullivan County. My responsibility entitles Ulster County, Orange County, Rockland County, and Sullivan County. So I'm more than happy to get a call at 845-292-6180, or extension 127 is my direct line. Or you can go on our website. We have a website called MidHudsonEnergyChoices.org. We're more than happy. There's an intake sheet there to reach out if you fill out the intake sheet, or you can just give a call, and we'll get right back to you if we're not around.
So what are a couple easy things someone can do to save energy and money at home?
Well, you could always start simple, like lights. Anybody can change a light bulb, right? If the electric's off and the fixture's off, right? Then it's safe. But so if you have old incandescent bulbs, like the Thomas Edison looking bulbs, you can swap those out for an LED, a light emitting diode, which can be commonly found in like home improvement stores or your local hardware store. Or anywhere really you can find LEDs now. They've come down in price. They're a little more affordable, and you can swap them out. And you can go from like a 60-watt incandescent bulb to like a 4.5-watt LED. Even a CFL, a compact fluorescent light, the squiggly ones. You can really swap those out quick and save some wattage and save a couple kilowatts, per month. Other things you could do, I'm full of these things you could do, but become familiar with air sealing. Mm-hmm. Look at ways that you can, we all have these penetrations on our outside walls. There's really simple foam products you could buy, like canisters of spray foam. In stores, you can get, different insulating materials too in home improvement stores to insulate your pipes and insulate those wall penetrations where you have like the outside wall comes into the inside space. You have like electric wires going out sometimes, plumbing, pipes, and all sorts of different stuff that could be done to a house over time, and you can fill those holes in. Even where you have penetrations from like your unheated space, typically basements are unheated. Some basements are finished or heated. But if they're not heated, you got cold air down there and you don't want it to go up to where your heated spaces in the first floor, second floor. So you can even put, insulation up in those penetrations that go from an unheated space to a heated space. But there's lots of different tips you can kind of look at. Our website on sullivancce.org, in MidHudsonEnergyChoices.org has some other examples. So.
Well, my paper says building science. What is building science? What does it mean?
Building science is looking at a house or any building. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a residential, but how it works is a whole kind of system. So I mentioned your HVAC system, your heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system, how that works in connection to the envelope, so the outside space, the outside exterior walls of the building. And how it works with the electrical, plumbing systems, and I would even include drainage in that, how it's it's draining properly and all that. So building science is a really in-depth look at what's exactly going on in that envelope. What's the R value of the insulation that's in those walls? Are there gaps and spaces that can be filled? And where you have penetrations from the outside air coming into the inside air. And we over time. We've developed a lot of strategies and techniques in the building science community and industry that has led to healthier homes and less money being spent on energy and heating and cooling.
So why is it that some folks pay so much on their energy bill and others are just completely different?
It comes down to efficiency of the building envelope. So like what's in the wall. We have a very diverse building stock in the Hudson Valley. We have a lot of different types of building structures that were built. I live in a house that was built over 120 years ago. And then my neighbor's house was built only, 10 years ago. So there's a very diverse amount of products that were used, from the time my house was built to the, as opposed to what my neighbor's dealing with. So, we all are dealing with different circumstances. So what's in the walls, how our, heating systems work, how efficiently they work is a big thing too. But then the little things, like I mentioned, the lights, what do you got going on with your lights? What do you got going on with your different usage. So it's really, it's different from structure to structure, building to building, but we really just taking a look at what's going on inside that residence and what we can do to make it more efficient. Everybody can look at what they're doing and save a couple dollars if they kind of just do a personal assessment.
So as you were talking about insulation, are there any different types of insulation products?
Yeah, there are a couple different insulation products. There's old fiberglass bats. They're not old. They're still in the marketplace. So that Pink Panther type stuff, the rolls of pink stuff, I guess, is one type of. It's basically spun fiberglass. There's other products that are. I like mineral wool, which it's a product of. It's like spun rock fiber. And it's a nice product too. They all give you different R values per inch. So R value is the amount of insulated value we get from those products. So per square inch, it's different for each one. Another product is there's foam products out on the market, spray foam, and then there's cellulose, which is usually like a shredded material of some kind, and then they can do different types of applications with each one of those products, and so there's lots of different things that you can look into. So if you do work with a home improvement contractor or an energy efficiency contractor, asking those questions, what kind of products they'd use, is something that a consumer is more than welcome to do. You want to be familiar with what's going in your home.
So as of new technologies, is there anything people can use to heat and cool their houses?
Yeah, so it's interesting. It's a really interesting time actually in energy efficiency, in the energy efficiency world, I should say. Air source and ground source technology has been around for a while. So they're called mini splits, air source heat pumps, ground source heat pumps. I see you guys have one here in the studio. But they're a relatively new technology, and now they're being cold climate rated in the Northeast. And there's actually a couple programs that are starting to kind of seep into the Hudson Valley here, that are centered around putting these in more folks' homes. So air source systems and ground source systems are very efficient. They use less electric than they have in the past. They are not going to use a fuel source like like oil or natural gas or propane. Yeah. They're going to use electric. And the beauty in that is if we electrify the grid, then and we put up solar panels, then we're using solar electric to power these air source systems. But they provide heating and air conditioning, and they're cold climate rated. There's a compressor that goes on the outside of the house. So these compressors are cold climate rated to work and operate in most up to negative 15 degrees. So even if it's really cold outside, you can still get warm air coming out of these compressing units.
Well, Sean, that looks like it's the end of my questions. So was there anything else you wanted to share today?
No, I would, if people have energy efficiency questions or want to engage in any of these programs, we can help them out with the process and the pathway to get to the end goal of an energy efficiency upgrade. So I welcome calls, 845-292-6180, extension 127, or you can go on our website, midhudsonenergychoices.org, and fill out an intake form, and we can kind of help you kind of along the way to an energy efficiency upgrade.
Well, for more information on today's topic, you can contact Cornell Cooperative Extension at Sullivan County, located on 64 Ferndale Loomis Road, Liberty, New York, 12754. Or you could call, as Sean said, 845-292-6180, extension 127. Well, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks, If. Really appreciate it.
And we'll see you next time on Spotlight on Wawarsing.